Well, here we go. Something a little different for you. A chat with the executive director of the Philly Pops, Matthew Koveal. Matt, welcome.
Hey, Chet. Thanks for having me.
So we'll, of course, talk about the Philly Pops, but we will also mix in some sports talk and a bit about you as well. In fact, let's start there. If my research is correct, Matt, you grew up in suburban Philly, graduated from Penncrest High. What else do we know about you?
Yeah, I'm a Delco guy. So, shout out Delco. I went to Penncrest, did marching band there, played trumpet there. And then I moved out to Colorado. I was there for about a decade where I met my beautiful wife, McGee, and we both moved back to the East Coast to where we are back. And we live now in South Philly, which we're loving.
You said you played the trumpet, as did I when I was young. Is that what got you into music, or what, was it your family that said, hey, music is great, enjoy, sample all this stuff, or what?
I was actually really big into sports and music in high school. Baseball, football, basketball, hockey. I did really everything. And it kind of got to a point where you either had to go into the music world or into the sports world. And I went the music world, got a music education degree, a trumpet performance degree, and that's how I kind of got into the world that I am today. But sports is really important to me just as much as music is.
Well, let's get right into that then. Regarding Philly sports, your formative years, I guess, included the Iverson Sixers, the Andy Reid, Donovan McNabb era Eagles, the Utley, J-Roll, Ryan Howard Phillies era, highlighted, of course, by the 2008 World Championship. Any particular Philly sports fandom memories on your part?
I would say when the Phillies won the World Series, because that was really my first championship. But I will tell you, one of the biggest memories for me was going to hockey games with my dad. He was a season ticket holder. So we went to about 10 or 15 games every year for probably a decade. And we were at the top level of the First Union Center at the time.
It's had so many names, I know.
It's had so many names, right? And we were in literally the top row. So I really learned what it was like to be a true Philly sports fan in the late 90s. Those guys were ruthless, and it was great to be a part of it.
How about more recently? You a big Eagles guy? You excited about the Flyers' return to the playoffs, the Phillies' resurgence under Don Mattingly?
I am certainly excited about the Phillies getting better with the new manager. It's great to see the Flyers doing well. The past couple of years, you try to watch and they keep losing, and it's just hard to continue to watch. Although you do, we're tried and true fans, but it's really nice to see this recent run that they had. The future is bright for the Flyers, so we're looking forward to it.
All right, let's get to the Philly Pops. I believe you've been with that great organization since 2023. They've sort of come back from the dead. They were, pretty much out of commission for a while. And you guys have a real impressive summer lineup of shows, starting with a Friday night show at the Perelman Theater celebrating America's 250th. What can the audience expect to see and hear Friday night?
So that is a collaboration with Philadelphia Symphonia, which is a youth orchestra in Philadelphia. We really value the collaboration between the younger musicians in our community. So you're going to hear a lot of Americana type of music. You're going to hear Ray Charles's America, 1812 Overture, some Leroy Anderson. That's going to be a great show.
On the 30th, then, you've got a cool free event at Head House Square.
Absolutely. So the Philly Pops, we like to play all over the city. That's going to be what we call our little big band, which is 7 horns, rhythm section, and vocalist Paula Holloway. Once again, that's a free performance. You bring chairs, bring drinks, bring food, whatever you want. You're going to hear Motown, soul, R&B. It's really going to be a great time.
All right. This next one sounds really terrific. June 6th at the Met, where the Philly Pops will be joined by the very talented 6-time Grammy winner, St. Vincent.
Yeah, we're really excited. The Philly Pops has always performed traditional type of popular music, Broadway, Motown, movie score, things of that sort. This is where we're really starting to get into collaborations with more modern, styles of music. So you get St. Vincent, which is really kind of a neo pop kind of world. And then there's a bunch of other concerts in the end of the summer in which we are going to be collaborating with these type of bands.
Yeah. And then there's another big event celebrating America's 250th. That, of course, will be Saturday, July 3rd on Independence Mall. It's another freebie. The Pops with the great Adina Menzel, or as John Travolta once famously called her, Adele Dazim.
Yes, exactly. We're very excited about that. Our music director, Chris Dragon, will be there. This is another free performance. We've been doing this show for decades. And like I said, it's a free performance. We typically get about 5, 6, 7,000 people on Independence Mall, right in front of where America was born. So where else would you want to be on the 3rd and 4th?
I think you mentioned the fact the music director's involvement, and this music director is officially now the guy. Tell us about Chris Dragon.
Yeah, Chris Dragon is awesome. I mean, he is from Australia, and I've worked with Chris before at a previous employer, and Chris is really down for anything and everything. And as a Pops conductor, you really need someone who's excited about these type of collaborations. He's been known to wear a costume from time to time. He has some pretty viral videos of him wearing Jurassic Park outfit and things of that sort. And you know, what I've learned is that Australians are very similar to Philadelphians. They like to have a great time. They don't put up with any you-know-what. And we're very thankful to have him in our world.
Yeah, I was at Kings Road Brewing with you and Glenn Mack now and Jody Mack last month for a taping of the show that actually just aired a week or two back. And Chris was there, and that was a lot of fun. And you could tell that he is just a blast to work with. Hey, I know a show in late August at The Man will be one that fans of the Grateful Dead and Jerry Garcia are really going to enjoy. Tell us about that one.
Yeah, so that is a Jerry Garcia Symphonic Celebration. You'll get some of the band members from the Jerry Garcia Band. That is a really fun show. I've done that in Colorado before. That's touring all around the country, playing with different orchestras. We're really excited for that show, and our music director, Chris Dragon, will be conducting.
Awesome. I know we're still in May with a long summer ahead of us, but it's not too early to start thinking about the fall and winter Philly Pop schedule. You got Boys to Men and Broadway a la Nero in the fall. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. Boys to Men is part of our mission to play with bands that are from Philadelphia, live in Philadelphia, record in Philadelphia. Boys to Men is selling really well, so get your tickets now if you haven't done so already. And then Broadway a la Nero is our homage to our music director emeritus, Peter Nero. He was the music director for must have been 30 years. He was a very important part of Philadelphia. You're going to hear some of his piano arrangements. You're going to hear Hugh Pinero, who is a vocalist who was actually just inducted into the Philadelphia Music Alliance Hall of Fame. So he has a plaque on Broad Street. And that's going to be our first Kimmel Center show of that 26-27 season.
Hey, you mentioned Peter Nero. Can you explain what happened a few years back when the Pops kind of, disappeared for a while, and then you actually worked with the Nero family to reclaim the name Philly Pops? How did that all play out a few years ago?
Yeah, absolutely. So in November 22, the former management announced they were shutting down. That left a lot of people shocked and dismayed by what was going on. 6 of the musicians from the from the roster, from the group of musicians said, "We don't want this to go away. This is a cherished Philadelphia tradition." And they filed a 501c3, created a new organization, and started from $0 and a gift, which is their music. And we started playing all around town for free, just to show that, hey, we weren't going away. And here we are now doing quite well. Over those couple of years, Peter Nero's family caught wind that we were paying homage to Peter and trying to keep the Philly Pops alive and well. We were actually the No Name Pops for a couple of years. And they gave us the name, and they gave it to us for free in perpetuity. So it's now back into the hands of the rightful owners, which are these fabulous musicians.
Awesome. And one final show I want to ask you about, that, of course, is the December big one, a trio this year, actually, of Philly Holiday Spectacular concerts at the Kimmel Center.
Yeah, that's an incredible show celebrating the holiday tradition. We have 3 this year, like you said, the 11th, the 12th, and the 13th. This is going to feature our music director, Chris Dragon, vocalists Morgan James and Ryan Shaw, who are both Broadway stars, the Philadelphia Boys Choir, the St. Thomas Gospel Choir, and the Philly Pops Chorus. So there really is something for everyone at that show. And you're probably shocked, but it's selling like wildfire, and it's May.
Yeah, that's terrific.
That's great.
Hey, I caught your appearance on CBS 3 a few weeks back. Great job by you on there. And you were asked by Janelle how you would describe what a show by Philly Pops is like. And I loved your answer. So for people who may have missed it, tell our viewers what the experience is like seeing the Philly Pops.
Sure. Hopefully I can remember what I said. So the Philly Pops is very different than a classical orchestra. As you know, when you go to a classical orchestra, there's a particular way you need to act. You need to be quiet. You need to do this sort of thing. At the Philly Pops, we want to get rid of all of those traditional rules. So you can come and clap whenever you want. You can sing whenever you want. You can get up and dance. A lot of our shows, people are doing conga lines down the aisles. We played Love Train, maybe it was last year or something of the sort, and the ushers were dancing in the aisles. You know, music is meant to be enjoyed. And when you feel uptight and like, oh man, if I open up this Werther's in the middle of this quiet piece, people are going to stare at me and judge me. None of that happens at the Philly Pops. We want you to come and have a great time.
And you can buy tickets for the individual shows, or you now have a subscription deal also?
Correct. We actually just announced the launching of a subscription series. So you can get access to similar seats for the whole season. You can get a discount on the shows, provided you buy the whole season. That is live now. If you want single ticket sales to our Kimmel Center-based programming, those will go on sale in early June, which is coming up here soon.
Fantastic. Matt, this was a blast. Thanks for visiting Philly Pressbox Radio. I know you and the Philly Pops are going to have a fantastic 2026.
Thanks, Chet. Really, really appreciate you having me on.